Hi, my name's Tally, and this yoga class is going to be focused on opening up across the chest, doing some shoulder mobility as well. So basically the antidote to sitting at a desk like this, which I think we could all use. There's a couple of props which you might find handy, a couple of yoga blocks, or if you don't have them, then piles of books work perfectly as well, and a small cushion. So get into some comfy clothing, set up your room, maybe you put a playlist on, maybe you light a candle, have some water nearby, and I really hope you enjoy this class. So we're going to be starting today in a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. Maybe you're up on your knees, maybe sitting cross-legged, maybe even sitting up on your cushion or your blocks, if that helps you to feel more comfortable. Making any final adjustments, fidgets, and then settling into stillness. Closing your eyes or taking your gaze to the floor. Turning your attention inwards. Checking in with how your body's feeling today. How are your energy levels today? How is your mood, your emotion today? What are you bringing into your practice? Not having any judgment towards anything that's coming up, just observing. And thinking about how you can make your practice serve you today. How you can make your practice give you what you need. And just as with any of my other classes, if there's any pain or discomfort that is too much for you, then just backing out, taking it easy, reflecting on what your body needs and respecting that, treating yourself with kindness. Taking some really deep breaths here, and with every exhale, grounding you a little bit more into the present moment and onto your mat. And then we'll start to bring a bit of movement to the body, starting by bringing your shoulders right up to your ears, squeezing them up, squeezing the space in your neck. And then on an exhale, dropping them down. Take that a couple more times. Inhale, squeezing your shoulders up. Exhale, drop. Maybe making a noise with your mouth. One more time. Then bringing your hands together in front of your heart space and really pressing your hands. Try and close all of the gaps between your palms, between your fingers, really pressing, engaging your arms, engaging your shoulders. And then bringing your hands up above your head, keep pressing, keep engaging, noticing any differences here. And then dropping your hands behind your head, lifting up with your elbows, keep pressing. Try not to let your ribs float out. Try and keep your core engaged, your ribs hugging in. Keep pressing your hands. One more breath here. And then bringing your hands back through center. Keep pressing, keep pressing. And then releasing your hands down. Pausing in stillness. Recentering in your body. Now really slowly making your way to hands and knees, to all fours. Moving your props out of the way just now. No hurry to get here. Setting up your hands, your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And then we'll take some cat-cows. So on an inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze, opening across your chest. On an exhale, rounding your back, tucking your chin, broadening across your shoulder blades and your upper back. Flowing between the two sides at your own pace. It doesn't matter if you're out of sync with me. I'm really noticing what's happening to your shoulder blades in this pose. You're grounding down through your hands. When you're inhaling, you're broad across your chest, your shoulder blades draw together. And when you're exhaling, your shoulder blades are broad. Taking a couple more. And then coming back through center, finding that neutral spine. Taking your left hand and placing the back of that left hand onto the floor underneath your face. Really pressing down at the back of that hand and rounding through your back as you do this, just like with cat back. Noticing what this is doing to your shoulder, to that left arm. Really pressing here. And then sliding that left arm underneath your right armpit, coming down onto the left side of your face. Maybe bringing your cushion underneath your face if that feels good. Thread the needle. And then if this is feeling good for you, maybe taking that right arm onto your lower back. Coming back to any variation that works for you. Breathing deep here in this twist. And then bringing that right hand back in front of your face if it was behind your back. Lifting all the way back to your all fours. Making any movements that you need to. And then we'll do this on the other side. So the back of the right hand comes onto the floor, really pressing the back of that hand into the floor. Don't worry about having your arms straight. You can have a bend in that elbow and rounding through your back as you do this. Engaging that arm, engaging that shoulder. And then sending that right arm underneath your left armpit, coming down onto the right side of your face. If this feels okay, maybe the left hand comes onto the lower back. It might be different on this side, noticing any differences here. And just taking the variation that works for you on this side. Left hand back in front of your face if it was lifted. Bringing yourself all the way back to all fours. Making any adjustments, any wiggles. And then stepping both feet forwards, coming to a forward fold. Keeping your knees bent generously here. Release your neck, release your jaw. Maybe taking opposite elbows in your hands and having a little sway. Just stretching out through the whole back of your body, the back of your legs. And then on an inhale, coming all the way up to standing, hands high. Exhale, bringing your hands in front of your heart again, pressing them together, grounding down through your feet. And we'll take some sun salutations to warm the body up a little bit more. So on an inhale, reaching your hands high. Exhale, fold. Bending your knees enough to plant your palms, stepping your right foot back, right knee down. You can pad that right knee if it's feeling a bit sensitive. And once your legs are set up, on an inhale, coming up to your low lunge. Lifting up through your fingertips, getting length in your sides. And then starting to move your left hand, starting to move that hand back, making a big circle with that left arm. You reach it forwards and then scooping it all the way back. Inhaling as it comes forwards. Exhaling as it comes back and down. One more. And then sending both hands down to frame that front foot and stepping back to plank. You can have your knees up or your knees down. Noticing what your shoulder blades do in your plank, broad across your upper back. And then lowering down onto your belly. Bring your hands slightly forwards and wide. And on an inhale, coming up to cobra. Exhale, lower down. It's like you're pulling your chest through your hands as you come down. Bring your hands back by your ribs, pushing up, back to all fours, and then back to downward dog. Don't worry about having straight legs or getting your heels to the floor. Just focus on getting your hips high, lengthen your sides, broad across your upper back. Equal weight between your hands and your feet. One more breath here. And then sending your right foot in between your hands, left knee comes down, setting up your legs, inhaling up to your lunge. Then bringing your left hand down to the floor on the inside of that front foot, tucking your back toes, and at the same time lifting that knee and lifting that right arm, coming into your twisted lizard. You can have your knee down if this feels better, but for everyone, sending that right arm, that top arm, round behind your back so the back of your hand comes to your lower back. We're going to transition between arm up and arm behind your back. So on an inhale, sending that arm up again, opening through your chest. And on an exhale, you're twisting your hand, the back of your hand comes to your lower back. Making that circle as big as you can. Taking one more here. And then sending that right hand down to frame your front foot, stepping the back foot forwards, taking as many steps as you need to come back to your fold. Making any movements you need to here, shaking out your legs, releasing out your lower back, releasing out your arms and shoulders. Inhaling up to standing, hands high. Exhaling, hands to heart. Grounding down with your feet again. Checking in with your body. Maybe taking a sip of your water, taking a breather, taking off any layers. And then we'll come to the other side. Inhaling, hands high. Exhaling, fold. Sending your left foot back this time, left knee down. Setting up for your lunge. Inhaling, hands high. Moving your right arm this time. Your right arm comes back, making a big circle. Exhaling as your hand comes back. Inhaling as it comes up. Making that circle as big and wide as you can. And then coming to stillness, sending both hands down to frame your front foot, stepping back to plank, knees up or knees down, broad across your upper back, strong in your shoulders and your arms. And then everyone lowering down onto your belly, Hands forward, inhale up to cobra. Exhale, lower down. Hands back by ribs. And coming to your downward dog. Taking your time to get there. Taking your time to make any adjustments to set this up. Lifting your hips as high as you can. Breathing deep here. And then sending your left foot in between your hands, right knee down, setting up your legs, inhaling up to your lunge. Then sending that right hand down on the inside of that left foot, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee and that left arm at the same time. And then we'll take that flow with the arm. So on an exhale, sending the back of your hand to your lower back. Inhaling, sending that hand up again. Making that circle as big as you can. Noticing any differences with this shoulder. Still strong in the rest of your body. And then when your hand is up the next time, pausing here. And then sending that hand down, framing that front foot, taking as many steps as you need to come to your fold, making any movements here. And then inhaling all the way up to standing, hands high. Exhale, hands to heart. Grounding down through your feet, checking in with your body. Taking a breather. And then we'll all meet back in a mountain pose when you're ready. Inhaling, hands high. Exhaling, fold. Slightly different this time, stepping your right foot back, but this time keeping that knee lifted, turning that right foot out to an angle and bringing yourself up to your warrior two. So that front leg is bent, back leg towards straight, arms both at shoulder height, strong in your legs, strong in your arms. Breathing deep here. Now sending your right hand onto your right hip, turning the front palm upwards and scooping that arm up to come to a side bend, reversing your warrior. Legs are still strong here. Coming back to your warrior two. And then bringing the forearm of the front arm onto that thigh and extending that right arm over your ear. Chest is still lifted up towards the ceiling. Well, not quite towards the ceiling, lifted out to the side. A long line between your right fingertips and the outside edge of that right foot. And if this is feeling okay for you, and if the shoulder mobility things have been feeling okay for you, maybe taking that top arm, making a circle, bringing it to your lower back. And then using this to open your chest. So you're drawing that top shoulder back. And there's not much weight in that front arm, it's just there to support you. One more breath here. And then bringing yourself back upright to your warrior two. Straightening through that front leg, turning all of your toes to point forwards, coming to your wide-legged stance. And then bringing your hands onto the front of your thighs, starting to lower down just to a halfway position. So your back is flat. Sending your arms out in front of you, palms facing up, reaching away between your fingertips and your hips reaching behind you. And then we're going to do a shoulder mobility exercise here. So it's almost like you have plates or maybe cups of tea on your hands and you're trying not to spill them. Bringing your hands, both of them, in towards your body and then sending them back behind you so your palms are facing up. Arms are behind you, palms are facing up, still balancing that cup of tea on your hand. And then bringing them back forwards again so they come into the middle, palms are still facing up, sending them out in front of you. We'll do that 2 more times, bringing your hands in the midline, around your body, sending them back. And then sending them forwards again. 1 more time. Really exaggerating this movement, making it really deliberate. And then sending your hands forwards again. And then releasing your hands down, letting your upper body fold and flop. Rounding through your back. Releasing your jaw, releasing your neck. Maybe hands coming to elbows. Maybe releasing your hands down. Strong in your legs. Amazing, everyone. And then sending that right hand around your back and landing it on your lower back, palm facing up. This might be enough for you here. But if you want to take this a little bit further, only if it feels good in your body, maybe bringing that left hand to the floor in front of your face. You can bend your knees as much as you need to get here. And then opening up across your chest, using that elbow, using that shoulder to come into a twist. Hands still pressing to your lower back. It might not be a very deep twist, but you're leading it with your elbow, leading it with your shoulder. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling into the twist, so you're flowing here. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling into the twist. And exhaling down. Releasing that arm down, making any movements that feel good. Releasing out any tension in your back and your shoulders. Then bringing your hands back to your thighs, to your hips, and bringing yourself all the way upright. Pausing here if you get a head rush. And then turning all of your toes to face the front of your mat again, towards the left. Coming to your high lunge. So your back heel is lifted, front leg is bent. A bit of a balance here. Once you've got your balance, sending your hands high. And then rotating that left arm again, just like we did in the low lunge. So sending that arm back, sweeping it forwards and up. Exhaling to send it back and down. Inhaling to sweep it forwards and up. Ooh, get your balance. Exhaling back and down. Inhaling forwards and up. And then depending on your energy levels today, you can either take a vinyasa here, or you can just come to a forward fold at the front of your mat. So if you're taking the vinyasa, bringing your hands down to frame that front foot, stepping that foot back to plank, pausing in your plank, lowering down onto your belly, inhaling cobra, exhaling down, And then all the way back to your downward dog. Lifting your hips high. Taking a couple of breaths in your downward dog. And then we'll all meet in that forward fold. So taking as many steps as you need to get there, maybe hopping through, and then releasing into your fold. Taking your opposite elbows in your hands, maybe even stepping your feet a little bit wider. Really releasing down here. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Letting your whole upper body be heavy. When you're ready, on your next inhale, coming all the way up to standing, hands high. Exhale, hands to heart. Coming back to your mountain pose. Grounding through your feet again. Taking a breather if you need to. Or just using this as an opportunity to check back in with your body before we take the other side. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold. Left leg back this time, turning that foot outwards to an angle, keeping high on that knee, and then bringing yourself up to your warrior two. Strong in your legs, making any adjustments you need to. And then sending that left hip down, the left hand down onto the hip, turning that palm to face upwards and scooping back to reverse your warrior. Getting space into that right side of your body, the right side of your ribs. And then bringing yourself back to your warrior two, strong in your legs. Then sending that right forearm down onto the right thigh, extending that left arm over your ear. Keeping that lift in your chest. Finding that long line between your left fingertips and the outside edge of your left foot. And then maybe taking that left hand, sweeping it behind your back so that the back of that left hand is on your lower back. And then using your elbow, using that shoulder, that arm to lift your chest. Getting space across your collarbones. Activation in your shoulder and your arm. Your whole body is active here. One more breath here. And then bringing yourself out of this variation and coming back to your warrior two. Pausing here for a moment. And then straightening through both legs, turning your toes to point forwards. You know what's coming next now. Bringing your hands onto the front of your thighs and really pushing into your thighs as you start to fold only to a flat back position. Reaching away with the crown of your head. And then reaching your hands out in front of you, palms facing up. Balancing that cup of tea on your hands. Bringing your hands into the center line, rotating your arms, sending your arms all the way back, palms still pointing up. And then transitioning, so hands come forwards, and then hands go back through the midline. Noticing how this feels in your shoulder, both shoulders. Is one feeling different to the other? Sending your hands back one more time. And then finishing with them forwards. Keeping that T lifted, keeping your palms pointing up. And then folding all the way down. Releasing your lower back. Releasing your neck, your jaw. Making any movements that feel good here. And then we'll come to that twist. So sending that left hand to your lower back of your hand onto your lower back. Right hand comes onto the floor underneath your face, bending through your knees. Inhaling into your twist, using that arm, that elbow, that shoulder to open your chest up to the left. Exhaling down. Taking 2 more. Inhaling to twist. Exhaling to down, to fold. And then releasing that hand down, coming back to your fold. Making any movements that feel good here. Then bringing your hands back onto your upper thighs, pushing your hands into your thighs as you come all the way up to standing. Pausing here, catching your breath. And then turning all of your toes to the front of your mat again, to the right. So you come to your high lunge with your right leg forwards, back heel lifted, sweeping your hands high. And then making those circles with your right arm, sending that right arm back, making a big circle and sweeping it up again. Exaggerating this movement. And if this feels easy for you, maybe just increasing the resistance. Make it feel like you're moving your arm through treacle. Notice what that does to the movement. Finishing with that arm up. Really good, everyone. And then either just coming to a fold if you're feeling kind of tired and you just want to break, or bringing your hands down and we'll take a vinyasa. If you're taking your vinyasa, stepping back to plank, but taking whichever variation, plank or vinyasa, which serves you today, no judgment. Lowering down onto your belly if you're taking the vinyasa. Inhaling cobra. Exhaling down, and then back to downward dog. Final downward dog of the class today. Make it a good one. Make it one that feels really good in your body. Not worrying about how it looks. And then everyone meeting in that fold. Taking as many steps as you need to come to the fold. Making any movements to release out. For completeness, we'll come, inhale up to standing. And then exhale, coming straight back down to your fold. Stepping both knees down, coming back to your all fours position. Starting to bring everything back down to the ground. Grabbing your 2 blocks or piles of books and setting them up in front of you so that you've got 2 piles in front of you. And then bringing one elbow down onto each block or books. Bringing your hands together in front of you. And then adjusting so that you can sit your hips down onto your heels. Noticing how this feels. Making any adjustments. Maybe you need to move those books forwards a little bit. Maybe you need to scoot your hips back a little bit. Finding somewhere you can release your hips. And then bringing your hands above your head, releasing your chest down, your child's pose with a shark fin. Letting your whole body be passive here, letting your breath settle, letting your heart rate settle, letting your chest sink down in between your arms, and letting your head relax, your jaw relax, the space in between your eyebrows relax. We're going to hold this for 5 more breaths. And you might notice that as we hold this pose, your body might invite you to go a little deeper, or it might not. Breathing into your armpits, into your sides, into that space that we've created today. And then when you're ready, really slowly bringing yourself back upright. Moving your books, your blocks to the side just now. And then really slowly lowering down onto your belly. Maybe giving your hips a little wiggle once you get here. Release out any tension in your lower back. And then sending your left arm out long, shoulder height beside you. Bringing your right hand onto the mat next to your chest. And then you're going to roll onto the left side of your body, leaving your arm where it is, bending your right leg, maybe stepping that right leg over your left leg. Coming into broken wing. And you can use your books, you can use your cushion to make a little pillow for your head, if that helps you feel a bit more supported. Again, not worrying about how this looks, not worrying about how far you can achieve, just focusing on what feels good for your body today. Feeling the sensations in that left shoulder, that left arm, the left side of your chest. And if there's any pain, just backing out. We're aiming to feel some sensations, but not pain. Noticing how you feel in these stiller poses. It can often feel like we need to keep moving to make progress. But sometimes the progress comes from being still. Letting your body do its thing, work its magic. Taking one more breath here. And then rolling back onto your belly really slowly, releasing that shoulder out. Making any movements you need to, moving your books out the way if you had them there. And then coming to Sphinx. So bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms to the floor, lifting your chest. Again, pretty passive. Releasing your neck, releasing your jaw, maybe tucking your chin slightly. A little bit of a back bend. And then taking that left arm, and just like we did in Thread the Needle earlier, sending that left arm underneath your right armpit. So it folds in front of you, into that space underneath your chin and just above your chest, so it's still at shoulder height. Depending on how this shoulder is feeling today, maybe you could fold all the way down your head to the floor or your head on a cushion, or maybe that right arm still supports your body. Releasing here once you've found a comfortable place. Releasing into the sensations. Letting this stretch be passive. And listening to what your body's telling you. Is it inviting you to go deeper, or is it telling you to back off? Or maybe you found a place that's just right. Tuning into your body, listening to what it has to say. One more breath here. And then really slowly bringing that arm out from underneath you, coming back to your Sphinx. Just for a moment, back to center. And then sending your elbows wide, come all the way down onto your belly. And making a pillow with your hands for your head, releasing down here, face down. Before we do this on the other side. So sending that right arm out long at shoulder height. If you've not got space, you might need to scoot over. Bringing that left hand onto the floor in front of your face, bending that left leg, and then turning onto your right side. Maybe that left leg steps over the right leg. Bringing your cushion or your books underneath the side of your face, if that helps you feel a little bit more release in this pose. And then tuning into the sensations once you've found a comfortable place and you can hold a bit of stillness. If you get distracted in these stiller poses, just noticing that you've been distracted, labeling what has distracted you, maybe a thought, maybe a feeling. Just label it, that's a thought, and put it to one side for now. You can pick it back up later. And bringing your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, back to right here, right now. One more breath here. Make it a deep one. And then rolling back onto your belly. Coming to your Sphinx, so bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders. It's almost like you're pulling your chest in between your hands, pulling your chest forwards. Releasing your neck, tucking your chin slightly. Noticing any sensations in that right shoulder. And then preparing to thread that right arm underneath your left. You might need to adjust to make a bit of room underneath your armpit. And then slowly releasing down. Finding a comfortable place for you. So it's like that stretch you might have done in PE before, where you bring your arm across your chest. That's what we're doing. And if the variation on the floor really isn't working for you, you can come up to seated and just bring that arm across your chest. Breathing deep here. Right down into your belly. right down into the space in between your shoulder blades. One more breath here. And then really slowly bringing yourself out, taking your time to get back into your Sphinx for a moment. And then lowering all the way down onto your belly, releasing out your back, releasing out your arms. We have one final pose for you, which takes a little bit of setup. So really slowly bringing yourself up to all fours. Grabbing your books and putting them short end to short end together. Grabbing your cushion and popping it on top just to soften the edges. And then coming down onto your back on top of these books. So bringing your hips to one of the short edges, really slowly lowering yourself down. Maybe letting your head drop back, maybe bringing a bit more support under your head. Extending your legs out long, or maybe keeping your knees bent if that feels better for you. Arms by your side, palms facing up. Settling into this pose, settling into the stillness, opening across your heart. If this pose isn't working for you, no worries at all. Just finding a pose that helps you feel rested and supported. Breathing deep here. We'll take 3 more breaths in this supported heart opener. Letting your breath slow down even more. And then setting up for your Savasana, your final relaxation pose. You have options here. You can either stay in this supported heart opener if this is working for you, if this is feeling really good. Or if it's not feeling so good for you, or you just want to change things up. You can roll onto one side, rolling off your props, coming to a fetal position on your side. So you can stay here for your relaxation. Or you can move your props out of the way and just come down onto your back. Grabbing any layers you might need if it's cold. Using any props you might need to get comfortable. Making any final adjustments, final fidgets, and then coming to stillness. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Letting your body be completely relaxed. Letting your body be heavy, releasing into the floor. And feeling the ground solid beneath you supporting you. Notice all the points of contact with the ground, all the parts of your body which are touching the ground. And then tuning into your breath, the movement of it, the rhythm of it, the flow of it. No matter how still your body is, the breath is always there, providing rhythm. Tuning into that, if it helps you to stay focused, if it helps you to stay present for the final moments of this class. Noticing the texture of your breath, the speed, the temperature. All the qualities of your breath. And feeling it flow throughout your whole body. Take the deepest breath you have done all day, right down into your belly. And then sighing it out. Start to broaden your awareness back out to any sounds in the room, any smells, the feeling of the air on your face, the feeling of your clothes on your body. Starting to make any small movements, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes maybe rocking your head from side to side. And then making any bigger movements to wake your body up. Maybe a full body stretch, maybe bringing your knees in towards your chest and giving them a squeeze or a rock. Tuning in to what your body needs. Making any final movements. And then coming to your side and bringing yourself gently up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe sitting back on your props, getting comfortable. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, just like we did at the start, to close your practice. And in gratitude to yourself for taking some time today to prioritize yourself. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I really hope you enjoyed that class. I hope you're feeling good in your shoulders, in your chest, maybe a little bit more space there. If you did enjoy it, you can give this video a thumbs up to let me know, and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or feedback. I'm always open to your comments. If you'd like to see more yoga from me, you can head over to my website, yogawithtally.com. And if you'd like to see more from me generally, you can subscribe to this channel. I post free yoga videos every now and then, as well as other lifestyle vlogs, all sorts of things. So I really hope that you stick around. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.